I would like to invite Mr. Richard Reiki, board member, KPMG Dubai, and former CEO, KPMG India. Mr. Reiki.
Thank you, Suresh, and welcome to all my fellow panelists. I cannot see all of you, but welcome, and it's great to be in this August panel, as Akram said. It's truly a privilege to be talking on this subject. In fact, this digital disruption was happening in education even before COVID came in. I think COVID has only accelerated it. Every industrial revolution that took place, whether it was the first, second, or third, created a huge amount of disruption in education. And the fourth industrial revolution was picking up steam and was expecting to create a disruption in the education of online education. And there has been a lot of research written by a lot of leading luminaries as to what this can do. So this is not, I think it's important to know that the environment in which we all live is very volatile. And when the environment is volatile, I think the young professionals who are coming in, of course, they are very technology savvy. I think the faculty also needs to become equally technology savvy. I don't think ever before has the faculty's role ever been challenged so much as in these times. The role of the faculty of being up to speed with what is happening and how much change is happening in today's world. Change was always happening. Change has not changed. Change is still happening at a rapid pace. But what has happened is we cannot have face-to-face contact. And because of this COVID situation, and life has to go on, and people need to find new ways of working. In fact, I'll tell you, I work with the Dubai office. I've only been there once in these last 10 months, and no work has disrupted. Work continues through online ways. And in fact, the firm did pretty well also. So,
Richard, sir, if you can move towards a little your right and little.
Okay, is that okay?
Yeah. Perfect, okay? Sir. Perfect. Please
okay.
Go on, sir.
So I think the important point is that disruption is happening pace in business, and so also in education, I think is exactly the same. Now, expectations from education are changing today, and that expectation is that this knowledge base of education is changing. Earlier we used to have these 50 years of research papers written. Today, life has changed. Today, this 50 years may have no use because today the whole business models have changed. Everything has changed, and with that, I think people need to see how they're going to actually make use of what they have. So if we look at where people are going, there is going to be, a term which I learned very early in my life, lifelong learning. Lifelong learning has become a reality. It is no more that your education ends in your early 20s and then there is no more education. In fact, education continues throughout your life. The challenge for all of us, and not only the youngsters, not only anybody of us, is our ability to reinvent ourselves. I mean, somebody who's learned something last year, it may be irrelevant as we go forward. So when we look at education, I think education is going to be the basis on which new things are going to be built and the way we're going to move. So education cannot stay behind. And if education does stay behind, it will have a huge challenge on how the world develops going forward. So, so professionals will need to learn to be much more agile. The students will need to be much more agile. They'll have to learn more things. As far as teaching is concerned, they'll have to get into more practical teaching. Practical, I think. It's about bringing industry into education and taking education into industry, whichever way we want to look at it. Because I think more and more it is becoming important, because as we go into the world, the one big issue we have is how do we solve real life problems? This big issue coming, artificial intelligence coming, all our jobs are going away. But let me tell you, the people who are able to solve the real life problems, their job is not going anywhere. And I think that is important. Secondly, I think education now needs to move into entrepreneurship. How do you teach entrepreneurship? How do you teach sustainable development? One of the big things that came out in COVID was business continuity. How do you continue your business when a crisis of this magnitude hits you? And mind you, this is a crisis happening after 100 years of this kind of scale, where the whole world was closed. So I think it's important that, these kind of exposures are given to students and can only be given by people who have actually worked in industry or been through different crises. But let me take you back a few years. When the internet first came in, a lot of companies folded up, and they were the end of those companies. And the people who could adopt to the internet, they were the ones who actually succeeded. And I think that's important. And that gave the birth to Facebook and gave the birth to many such companies which have come in. And now you'll see new companies emerging. I mean, take the example of Tesla. They have entirely changed the way mobility is done. And that is going to be such a big change in the world. And I think there are going to be similar such companies which are going to come in with many more changes. So what is COVID done? COVID-19 has actually pushed all education institutions online. I know there has been a lot of flack. This online education is not working. It is having some issues. But I think we should realize one thing. The World Economic Forum in a report had taken out that by 2025, 2025, a lot of things are going to happen in the world of technology. Majority of the people are going to be having digital presence. 90% of the people will have internet access by 2024. And there are going to be over 1 trillion connected devices, sensors, which are going to be connected. So you can just imagine the magnitude of the scale. And there were many other statistics, I'm not going to get into it, which they brought out. So this shows that online is there and it is happening there. And we need to make sure that we are equally equipped to take this on. And educational institutions should ensure that their teaching is not outdated and they are actually teaching today's curriculum to the students so that they can actually go and get their jobs. So what is happening today is that there needs to be big changes made. For example, let's take one subject, biology. Biology, the way it is being taught will have to change, because what is going to happen, this biotech economy is emerging, and with the biotech economy emerging, the way biology is going to be taught will going to change. You take the case of, if we use, for example, we have got classes where if students do come to classes, they don't need to go and actually physically visit some place. There are drones, there are, for example, if they have to be shown how an open cast mine operates, I think it is going to be using drones. And I think that is going to be important. How do we actually adopt technology? Because if we adopt to this technology, there is huge amount of advantages that we can get. I think the important point that we should realize is that while adopting technology is good, but I think one very important thing which is there, and why I'm saying that the science courses will have to intertwine with humanities. Similarly, humanities will have to have a bit of technology in it, because the intertwining is important. Because as you go into technology, there has to be a strong overlay of ethical thinking. Because if there is no, just imagine a technology guy developing a system and that system can destroy something. I mean, if he has an ethical overlay in his teaching, I'm sure he would have avoided that from going on. So the mute question before all business schools today, are we teaching the relevant courses to people? And I think what is going to happen today, I think employers need skills, just not knowledge or titles. People who work smarter, are more articulate, have a professional presence. This is going to be very important. And for students who may be listening, is very important. People who can resonate, composure, and be compassionate, very important. Practical wisdom, visionary people are going to be the order of the day. Positive mindset and humility is also going to be important. And like I said, education should aim at creating problem solvers, because problem solvers will always be relevant, even in the world of education. I think that's all I wanted to say now.
Thank you, Richard, for that wonderful presentation. It was a real pleasure, and some very valid points. I don't want to repeat them for paucity of time, but I really appreciate your strong overlay on ethics. In fact, only yesterday, the lead news and Twitter trend was how a senior journalist became a victim of phishing.
Yes.
Now that is really a matter of concern, and I think that along with technology, we have to ensure that our students are safe, that also, and secure. That is also something we need to talk about. Thank you so much.